everyone. My name is Nikhil Karmarkar. I'm truly honored to be with here with a group of passionate young leaders. So we are today having. I wanted to share with you a powerful and transformative leadership trait that one that is essential in this fast-paced environment, especially in the students' world where nothing is in the kind of constant stage. Everything gets changed, so one that is essential for fast-moving and often unpredictable world, which is called as resilience. Yes. So we are here. We are to talk about about the importance of building resilient leaders and the power of resilience in the leadership. This is really important, as I said. Like today in the today's world, it's we need to make sure each and every young leader, especially the young students who are coming out, they embrace the power of the resilience here. Let's discuss the most important part, like why resilience is important here. So it's basically the young leaders like yourselves will be leading in will be leading in the era of a constant change, whether it's economic uncertainty, social challenges, whether it's workplace shifts or anywhere else you will be interacting with the whole world. Resilience is it's kind of the ability to bounce back, adapt, and push power forward with this kind of environment. And it's kind of superpower to have and a super skill to have in this kind of generation, because as I said, it's really important to have a mindset of constant change, and so that you can get easily adapted to the situation, and generally it allows you to keep you going even when the things get tough. And more importantly, it makes you lead others through adversity with clarity and confidence. That's why the resilience is important here, and we're going to talk more about it. The next slide is about we discussed why resilience is important. Now let's look into it, like wow, what is exact resilience is called as. So resilience is not only about ignoring the stress or pretending or acting like that some things are like things are everything is fine. As I said, like in this unpredictable world, it's really important that we do not pretend things and make sure every whatever we communicate, whatever we do, make what is important, we convey in such a way that we understand the things and like we go forward. So it's kind of the mental, emotional, and sometimes even spiritual strength to recover from the difficulties. So resilient leaders generally recognize failure as a part of the process, then they regulate their emotions and they move forward with a purpose. So resilience is kind of one mindset that you have during this unpredictable or adaptable situations where everything keeps changing. Like what I may like what we just discussed about this. The like resilience being related leaders are like more emotionally intelligent. They know how to deal with the situation, even if it's changing in a kind of environment. So there are some key traits of the resilient leaders that we are going to look in forward to. In the slide, you're seeing that there is some of the most successful leaders uh, that they share this kind of traits. So emotional self-awareness and control, which is an optimistic attitude, and these leaders have. Then there's an optimistic attitude and adaptability and grit, where 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 these leaders have this kind of strength. But the foundation is a strong sense of purpose. When you know your why, you will find the strength to get back up. So this kind of things, the key important parts that each of the leaders have, and when they want to build resilience leadership inside yourself, especially you guys, when you want yourself to be more resilient leaders, then you must have this uh, five specific kind of traits that these resilient leaders follow. So like what we discussed about the traits, the definition and everything. Now let's discuss about real life examples of how it looks like. So first example that you can take is Nelson Mandela's life. So as a resilient leader, Nelson Mandela's life is one of the most powerful examples of resilience in the modern history. He spent around 27 years of his life in prison for standing up against apartheid in South Africa. During this time, he was isolated, mistreated, and separated from his family, yet he never gave up on his dream of justice and equality. So, what makes Mandela's resilience even more remarkable is what he did when he was released. Rather than seeking revenge, he led with the forgiveness and unity, becoming the first black president of the South Africa and a global symbol of peace and reconciliation. So here, this case study in this example, Mandela teaches us that resilience also means emotional strength, the ability to lead with example, ability to lead with empathy, to heal after trauma, and to stay committed to your purpose even when the world says it's impossible. So let's take into the next example. So the second example that we have here in terms of the resilience leadership is Elon Musk. As Elon Musk is one of the most widely recognized innovators of our time, but what's often overlooked here is his resilience has defined his journey. So he faced multiple and repeated failures, from being ousted from PayPal to near to the bankruptcy of Tesla and SpaceX. So this has been one of the most failures that even in early SpaceX launches failed, and critics were quick to write him off. So he invested in his own fortune, took on incredible personal and professional risk, and he kept going when most of the people would have quit. So his story teaches us that resilience is not just about perseverance, it's about holding on to your vision despite extreme pressure and constant doubt. Musk shows us that resilience fuels innovation, and that the path to creating change often requires getting back up to every very public setbacks. So, why resilience matters for young leaders. So, based on these examples, you might be knowing why these leaders were successful in getting everything done when they were resilient enough to the situation and adapt their mindset as per that. So, as a future leaders, you will face a pressure to perform, pressure to perform, innovate, and support from your teams. So in this case, so resilience mindset helps you to stay grounded. It boosts your energy and sharpens your focus, and most importantly, it allows you to lead by example, even when the things are falling apart. So how will you build your resilience here? So we can start with a small process. We can take care of so what you can do is take care of your mental health as well as physical well-being. Then learn to reframe failure as a feedback. Don't consider failure as like everything is finished. Take it as a feedback. Set realistic goals, make it more practical, and most importantly, surround yourself with the people who uplift you and challenge you to go up to the higher level. This will make you more as a more one additional steps towards becoming a resilient leader. So here, what I did is I have taken one I put together one interactive activity that you can do in order to make sure everything goes smooth as per resident leaders. So what you can do is you can begin by asking, think of a time think of a time in your life when you when you encountered a major challenge. It could be from academic, personal, or professional. And think about like what strategy or support you got that help you to navigate it. Then what you can do is allow 1 to 2 minutes for the uh, allow yourself think about this time, and you can also we can do it later. What you can do is we can do two to three participants to share their experience, which they can share later. And what we can do is we can facilitate a brief discussion to highlight common resilience building strategies such as seeking help, staying optimistic, learning from failure, or taking small steps forward. What we can later discuss is emphasize that everyone's resilience story is unique and there's no one size fits all solution. So the goal is this is one kind of activity that you guys can do with yourself or make sure it makes you more resilient. Once when you take that test, what actions you can take, action steps that you take as a young leader to make this real here. So you what steps you can do is you can reflect on past challenges, what you learned. You can create a simple resilience building plan. You can identify one habit that to support your emotional and well-being, whether it's from like journaling, working out, or meditating, or whatever you want to do. And lastly, find a resilience role model, someone who inspires you to keep going. And these are the action steps that may like one taking one step at a time that will make go through your resilience. So, while you take these steps, you can go over that. I want to leave with some of the thoughts related to it. My final thoughts. So, resilience is not about avoiding the storm. It's about learning how to dance in the storm or rain, whatever you want to think. So, and second thing is every setback that you face is preparing for you to get a better comeback. So, stand tall, keep growing, and lead with the resilience to these processes. So thank you everyone for being an amazing audience today. The steps that we discuss about resilience, why resilience is important in today's world, about adaptability and being adaptable with the situation. Then we discuss some of the traits about the resilience, about like especially emotional and physical well-being. Then we discuss some of the leaders that have been over here we have an example of resilience. Then we discuss the action steps that you can take, like taking one step at a time to make sure you have one resilience characteristics. So yeah, that's what I have from my side. So it truly means a lot that you take a lot of time invest in your leadership journey. I hope the concept of resilience gave you something to think about and more importantly something to act on. Now I'd like to open the floor for any questions that you might have, whether it's about resilience experience, personal experience, or any kind of conversation you would like. Also, if you are interested, I can give you the additional resources related to resilience that I would like to share after this session. Lastly, just one lesson I wanted to share. So leadership is not a one time lesson; it's a lifelong practice. So I encourage you to stay connected, keep learning from each other, and showing up with the purpose of resilience. Let's continue with the journey together. And thank you again. And I'm here to help you if you need anything.